This game is pretty damn easy. If you play the most broken build in Diablo 4, that is. Because this is the strongest Druid build fully optimized by my man Thomas for Season 5. But we'll also cover what the hell is going to happen in Season 6, so you can have some goddamn fun and keep blasting then as well. When you're done playing Spiritborn, of course. So let's begin with the basics, shall we? How the build works. It's a stormslider build, meaning our main damage comes from lightning storm despite us spamming the Land slide button. This is due to the Nature's Fury key passive. By carpool tunneling the shit out the landslide button, we're in turn farting out a gazillion lightning storms. And what's lovely about these lightning storm is that they're all both earth and lightning, meaning they gain both of those multipliers. Just lovely. This is the entire build in a nutshell. Everything else we do is to scale our lightning storms further. To understand how, let's check out the skills. First out is Maul. Why the hell are we using this? Well, mainly to keep up the Wild Heart Hunter sneakers. To use this, we need to shapeshift once every 5 seconds. This is partially solved by Rocking Bloodhowl, which works fine in the hordes where the density is insane, but we'll need Maul for all other content. And talking about Bloodhowl, it's used both for the attack speed, the Wild Heart Hunger, as well as turning us into an awesome fucking werewolf. This in turn allows us to benefit from werewolf bonuses. More on that later. And for final damage scaler, we have Petrify. Because Petrify grants a fuck ton of crit damage, pretty much a must-have. So get it, damn it. What about the final 2 skills then? Well, shit, son. Those are defensives and bulwark grants unstoppable. When it comes to the gameplay, the build is extremely simple. You're basically just pressing all buttons except for Maul, that you only need to press once every 4 or 5 seconds. It's just that simple, folks. Now, to fully understand the build, we need to go through the gear and aspects, so let's do that, shall we? No? You don't want to do that? Well, fuck you then, because that's what I'm going to do now. Starting us off, we go for the Andariel's Visage Helmet. And why is that? Well, shit, son, due to 2 reasons. 1, for a fuck ton of damage. And secondly, for a fuck ton of damage. And hey, I'll even throw in a 3rd reason, because it makes us an immortal god. The life on hit is actually insane and allows us to stay alive with ease. So max out that attack speed, and let's check out the titty protection. Here we go for the concussive strike aspect for Big Damn and Stagger. You'll prio willpower for yet more Big Damn. Now here's something important. You need to get defensive skill ranks here for the skill tree to work because we're rocking Cyclone armor without investing points into it. This is why. Else you'll need to change the skill tree slightly. I'm just telling you before you comment and ask me about it, so you don't get confused when I tell you to suck a 10-inch schlong. For gloves, these are the bad boys you're looking for. The unsung wraps. These are just fucking insane and makes your lightning storm skyrocket. Try to grab one with GA on the lightning storm ranks and you'll blast, no doubt. As pantaloonies, you'll grab a lovely pair of symbiotic panties. By using this, you can keep resetting your cyclone armor and bulwark no problemo, allowing you to not fucking die El Mao. Other than that though, look to get your armor capped and get the hell out of here. To the sneakers, that is, where we want the Wild Heart Hunger. These sneakers are just flat out the best in the game, and it's not even close. 60% damage and attack speed, which by the way goes into the 2nd attack speed bucket. And in case you're a dogshit newbie that don't know what I'm talking about, there are 2 attack speed buckets where attack speed on gear is in one of them and this passive is in the other. I'll have a link in the description. Just know that they're fucking insane for now. For weapons, grab the retaliation aspect along with Aftershock for Big Damn. Here you'll also temper landslide projectiles cast twice for more nature fury procs, and you'll become one happy man or woman. You'll also need a good crowd control damage roll on one or two of your weapons as to get the Earthen Devastation legendary node capped in the Perragons. The second roll I have is currently on the amulet, but the weapons are fine too. The other thing you need to know about is damage to distant enemies for the Thunderstruck node, as you'll need to temper that on as well. Either way, slap on the natural balance aspect for maximum damage on the amulet and focus on obtaining an amulet with Envenom ranks on it, because that shit's yummy, granting a buttload of crit damage. And finally, the rings. The Earthbreaker is a must, allowing you to dish out additional landslides. The Earth attack speed is also in the second attack speed bucket, so try to maximize that bad boy. There is, however, one important thing to note. Landslide projectiles cast twice. If you don't have a GA on the ring, then you'll need to masterwork it on your weapons because you want it at 100%. That's important. For the other ring, we're rocking Starless and Masterwork the core skill ranks. This ring is not a must-have, as you can also rock the Starlight aspect. This grants resources whenever you heal, which you do a fuck-ton via Andariel's helmet. So that's an option. But if you have Starless, then you're going to slap hard. This, along with a Spirit Regen boon, is indeed enough to keep resources back. But I'm going to assume that you're shit at the game, so I also slapped on a lucky hit. Chance to restore resources on a weapon as a safety precaution. Shit, son. Gear and aspects are now done. What about the gems and boons, though? What the hell are we doing there? You're chill out, my man. We'll get to it. The gems are easy. Willpower everywhere unless you're a shit newbie that dies a lot. In that case, use rubies. Then sapphire, topaz, and amethyst for the resistances. For your boons, you'll grab the eagle wariness as to not hecking die. Energize for, well, energy, iron feather for max health, and avian wrath for big dam. And then finally calm before the storm to easily reset petrify. Oh hey, will you look at that? It's already skill tree a fucking clock, and you know it, my man or woman. Let's do it. We're starting off with Maul to gain some lovely werebear shapeshifting. After that drop, a fart on that bad boy, and head on over to some actual skills. Here, we want everything, basically. Lightning Storm, along with Advanced and Raging Lightning Storm, is where the damage is at, my man. Or woman. Wild Impulses is a no-brainer for Big Dam, and we want landslides to actually hit stuff and gain Nature's Fury procs. Next, we go to pick up Bulwark for defensives and Unstoppable, along with Bloodhowl for shape-shifting, along with some attack speed. We also have Cyclone armor here, but we're getting that rank from the defensive skills on our Titty Protection chest, as I said previously, just stating it again in case you're a demented boomer. Next, we pick up Nature's Reach for Big Dam and head on over to pick up a bunch of lightning passives for more damage and an easy way to make enemies vulnerable. Read them on your spare time. Crushing Earth and Stone Guard is used for damage, and Safeguard is our main source of Fortify. And don't forget Envenom. This is what you want to have on your amulet, preferably along with Nature's Reach and Quick Shift, but hey, we're not made of gold. Down here in the Ultimates, we also have some additional damage, and Petrify, which is used for the massive crit damage bonus. 50% on bosses, yeah, that's balanced El Mao. And finally, Nature's Fury. This is what makes this build. So let's talk a bit about it. By spamming out Earth skills, you're in turn shooting out Storm skills of the same category. For example, in the core skill category, and hey, will you look at that, this is where we have both Landslide and Lightning Storm. So every time we cast a Landslide, we in turn have a 35% chance to cast a Lightning Storm. And holy shit, are we able to shoot out a lot of landslides? On top of that, the Lightning Storms count as both Earth and Storm, so we're gaining all the damage bonuses in the skill tree that utilizes each one of those for a buttload of additional damage. And more damage we will get utilizing this in the Perragons, starting us off strong. In the starting board, we have the Spirit Glyph for massive damage. It's then time to fuck off from there to pick up yet another lovely glyph, Earth and Sky. Don't get fooled by the missed requirements. That's a bug. Instead, go to Survival Instincts where we have our exploit for instant vulnerable, especially important in the hordes where we just one-shot shit. After that, we go to Earthen Devastation. We get this cap sorted with ease using the gear tempers along with some crowd-controlled damage nodes. We also socket dominate for the 15% damage multiplier after getting an overpower. After that, we go for Thunderstruck and socket electrocution for Big Damn. Ancestral Guidance is yet another lovely legendary node, and Keeper is used for the additional damage. Finally, we have Heightened Malice, which we keep up no problemo in the hordes at least. On bosses, who gives a shit about those? Any whore, those are the Perragons. And about time we got done with those because it's finally time to get hecking good, my friends. Now listen carefully, because this build is extremely difficult. Are you ready? All right. You press landslide. Great job, friends. You are now an expert in this build. The rest of the buttons you just press on cooldown. The only thing you actually need to give a shit about is pressing Maul once every 4 seconds or so to keep up the Wild Heart Hunger buff. Other than that, you just hecking blast. I can also recommend holding down Shift whenever you're dropping a Maul, since it's a melee skill, and it will try to hit whatever enemy you're hovering over. Or better yet, you can go into the controls settings and set up your hold position to whatever button you usually hold whenever you're standing still, which is Control for me and my mouse right click. And if you're on console, then this setting is also easy to find. It's right next to the buy a fucking PC button. Now let's talk a bit about Season 6. Unfortunately, this build was massively bugged on the Season 6 PTR. The Perragon nodes were bugged, the tempers were bugged, and nothing was working as intended. Despite this, though, the build was indeed able to clear the highest of difficulty in the pit, and that's while missing a 2 or 3x multiplier. But if we ignore that for a sec, what changes are actually supposed to come in Season 6? Well, for starters, we can now temper lightning storm damage. As this is where the most of our damage comes from, this is actually massive. You'll basically get it to 100%, and get as much landslide cast twice on your ring as possible. Ideally, you'll have both at near 100%, and that's nearly a doubling of your damage right there. Other than that, though, the build is looking mainly the same. The only change that sucks a big hairy donkey schlong is the changes to Wild Heart Hunger. This is indeed dog shit now for this build, and unusable for us. But ignoring this, the build is still looking to be the king in Season 6, and as it's already one of the most fun builds in Season 5, Fatty McFatty aka the wood chopping guy is eating well in Season 6. I'll provide you folks with an updated Season 6 planner as the expansion is about to drop. Alright folks, that's all for this one. Drop a sub for fuck's sake, check out my man Thomas, and I'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe to Perragaming right fucking now and watch this fucking video to the right or left as well, or I will shove an assortment of rusty hydraulic torque wrenches up your ass. Oh yeah.